and toes.
Yep. All right, we are live. So, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Aftercast, the late night Transformers podcast. I'm your host, Victory Saber 77 or James, and I'm joined by our guests here. We can start with Dakota's not here, so I pick on him. But Torrance, if you want to go.
Hi, Trans5. Find me at Trans5 at Facebook and Twitter.
Josh?
Oh,
You're already yawning.
yeah. So you can find me G1 Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook page, the G1 Hextron. So
Jay?
Find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
And Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me on Twitter at DaltoniansTF95 and on YouTube at DaltoniansTF Reviews.
Chris?
You can find me Battlefront Games on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, just type in like World of Tanks news and just scroll through and one of them. So, hi.
And Charles?
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
All right. And you can find me. What? I was going in.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I was going to promote our stuff. Got to go to our website.
I was just gonna ask Dalton. Did someone actually on Twitter take Dalton's TF reviews on Twitter already?
No, I just decided to do DaltoniansTF95 because it was shorter.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, you can actually change it if it's not taken. Better watch out. Like Dakota, like he's got like all these like phantom answers. So he'll just start taking
last
stuff.
PrimalSabbath.
He's got like Nemesis,
PrimalSabbath.
PrimalSabbath, and Nemesis Dakota, and I don't know.
I'm sure he took my Victory Saber 77 Gmail account.
No, he did.
I'm sure he did. But since I have to go Victory Saber 7, but oh well. But check out our website, www.cybercastnetwork.com, where you'll find all great Transformers news. Everything that you see in the Cybercast that we have in the news is there on our website. You can comment in the forum section, become a member. It's free, and we don't solicit you. We don't do anything. And we're also having a contest, so become a member. We're reaching the 100 member mark, and that's when we will give out a free T-shirt. We've already reached the goal for our YouTube channel, but if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Cybercast Network again, but we will be giving out a free T-shirt, sending it to you anywhere in the world, wherever you live, free of charge. You don't have to worry about it as long as you have the ability to get mail.
And Dalton's actually wearing it right now. Do you want to? Can you show it off real quick?
Model it off, man. Strut.
There we
Vanna
go.
White it. Come on, do the Vanna White. Kind of show it off.
Hell no.
Okay. All right.
And then also the second contest.
Second contest is Josh.
Well, it's also Cybercast. I've done all the stuff that I need to do, but 250 members. So once we want to hit that 100, but once we hit 250 on CybercastNetwork.com as far as members and also subscribers on the YouTube channel Cybercast Network, we're giving away a Mint Seal Box Generations World and also a Mint Seal Box Generations Rhinox. Again, if you already have these things, you end up winning, and you decide that I don't want those, or already have them, or whatever the case may be. Just get with me, and I will whatever this equals up in value, where I can exchange it. I will, if it's $50 or it's $40, whatever it is, I will exchange it and get what you want. So basically, 2 Voyager figures, or if Masterpiece Prowl for Hasbro comes out and it's around that same price or whatever, then I'll exchange it for that. So just get with me and let me know, and we'll get you something of that value.
Cool. Also follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet. Usually the news is up there. Josh has it up there on Twitter sometimes before we get it onto the actual website. So you'll get a lot of fast breaking news there also. Like our Facebook page, Cybercast Network. Instagram's coming soon. And I think that's about it. We have a topic show that's every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, hosted by PrimalSabbath, who is not here, unfortunately, but we'll get along without him. But it's on at 6:30.
I mean, he bought a new pony.
Bought a new pony.
He bought a new pony, and he wanted to take it out. He wanted to take it out tonight. So, can you just see him?
Just in a Sailor Moon costume, also. So just
Sailor Moon, with a lot of midriff going on, and pigtails, riding a mini pony. So.
Yes. But we do have the topic show every Tuesday, hosted by PrimalSabbath at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on our community channel, which is Cybercast Network on YouTube. So, all right. Topic-wise, do we want to continue on with the third party? How we would like for them to maybe not treat the fans better, but get on the ball with kind of putting their stuff out at it when they say they might, or at least giving the fans a heads up, hey, it's going to be 2 months. You may want to keep that pre-order if you want, or save your money, or, sorry, or anything. Or do we want to jump into some BotCon stuff?
I'd like to hear these guys' thoughts on the third-party thing. I mean, because they really are kind of overextending themselves.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard a third party, like, it's going to be released this month, and it doesn't come out that month? Or when's the last time you actually saw that it was going to come out, like, let's say it's coming out in April, and it actually came out in April?
Yeah.
I mean, it is usually never happens. It's at the least the next month, but most of the time they keep on moving the date. From the initial date, they keep on moving it, and it ends up sometimes being anywhere from a month to 6 months.
See, honestly, the way I see it is they're kind of doing what BotCon's doing this year. Is overhyping something and just, extending it longer to have more money in their pockets.
Dragging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just really irritating. I mean, if you're going to have something out that month, then do it. Don't beat around the bush with it. Just get all of your problems fixed before you say it's going to be out at a certain time.
Yeah, I mean, we could also look at KFC Ultra Magnus, the first edition. I mean, that thing was a mistake, and they kind of covered it up saying you got an exclusive. Now, would you rather wish that they would have held back and not released that thing and kind of redid it? Or are we glad that at least they came out with it and they're calling it an exclusive, at least, quote unquote, and we get to have this nice, different version than the actual one that they're going to come out later on? I mean, there's a flip side.
I'm with Trent's here. I mean, it's just ridiculous to even try to. I mean, anyone that. You're not talking to 8-year-olds here that are paying for a $280 figure. You're talking to grown adults. And to actually try to pass it off and say, well, it's an exclusive. It's basically you screwed up the first time.
Yeah.
And now you're correcting it. Now, it's cool that you're correcting it. The thing is, it should have been done right the first time.
Yeah.
Does KFC go on
the
the
whole
bad
fact
vibe
that you
list?
Do what?
Do KFC go on the bad vibe list when it's where we say Warbatron? That pops up at KFC in that category.
Yeah.
I think they should be dubbed into the shame. No, the Hall of Shame, we'll call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not ready to put them there. Yeah, but I thought that just hilarious how you try to present that to fans. It's where there's so many other third-party companies out there. So many other third-party companies out there that they know what their demographic is. KFC, you know what your demographic is. It's adults, and it's hardcore fans. And you're gonna come out with a comment like that, and I just thought it was hilarious, and I loved it whenever we took that. I think it wasn't even 30 seconds after KFC came out with that comment that we had posted that on the Cybercast Net Twitter and on our Facebook page, that I just kind of sat back and looked at all the reaction because it was absolutely hilarious. So
kind of like Dakota's initial review of the Generations Rat Trap.
Yeah.
Just sitting back and watching everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's really weird. I mean, we're talking about how the third parties overextended themselves. I mean, as far as getting product out on time. Then you look at the Warbotron situation where they, you know, kind of with collusion with BBTS, you know, whoever's fault, I really don't care. But it's like that product should be out. It's out, but no one else can have it because it's an exclusive to one certain e-tailer. So it's just kind of odd how like certain things aren't coming out on the release dates, and they're getting pushed back. And then the stuff that is coming out turns out to be a special item for a certain e-tailer, or it's an exclusive. Like, whoops. Well, you know, hey, you got a malfunction-looking Ultra Magnus that may not be perfect, but hey, it's an exclusive. And we're going to accept it. And we say it's going to be exclusive. It's that type of stuff.
See, and you can say the same about Airburst from that company.
As we wait, you have to actually say the name.
You know what? I think other online e-tailers or retailers, they're kind of laughing at this, you know, Warbotron thing, you know, with the figures, because they said 2 in April, 2 in May, and the final, which is supposed to be the Onslaught figure, the bigger one, in June. You haven't even got your second figure yet. We're already in June. You know, and it was they had basically a 60-day exclusive, and they sold it to Big Bad Toy Store, and I think Kapow Toys had a little bit of stock shared with them as well for them to be kind of their UK exclusive, you know, online retailer. But it was mainly Big Bad Toy Store, to where now all these other companies are kind of laughing. They're like, look, you know what? As it played out, originally you could have got the complete combiner before anyone else got it. But now, as it plays out, here at the end of June, dude, it's open season, and you may or may not have the second figure in, you know, by you know, the end of June, so, or, you know, July 1st. So it really, you only got that one figure early exclusive. The rest of it, everyone's going to get it at the same time. So I think some of these online e-tailers are like, this is working out fantastic for us. Or maybe it was so much backlash to where they're like, you know what, I don't know. I haven't talked to the company, so. But I just think it's funny how it worked out.
Funny thing is, it's still in stock at BBTS too, so it's not like having it as an exclusive really helped gain anything. I think the backlash is like, no one's going to pick it up. Everyone canceled their pre-orders, and now I think Warbotron made a really piss-poor move there by allowing BBTS to have, you know, all that stock. But
well, they got like what, 2,000, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a lot of stock.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably also like capture praise. They probably paid for the order right away, so they probably couldn't like cancel.
Yeah.
No, as for me, I'm gonna get it either way, the full set, because you know, the Fans Project one is all right, and I don't see any others coming out with one anytime soon unless Make Toys does it, and it's going to be in that giant scales. So,
yeah.
I'd rather have it in scale with Hercules.
Oh. So you're going to buy the Warbotron. There we go. Computron.
Well,
that was out of left field. It was
no. I am not getting Warbotron Computron at all.
I mean,
so no Warbotron Computron.
No.
You don't want Warbotron Computron?
The Button Bro.
Fine.
The Button Bro.
No.
System overload.
I've been hyped up too much for the Make toys. I am sticking with that. And,
Okay.
it just looks better. It looks a lot better.
I like better about the Warbotron one is the torso.
You like the torso, really? That
Yep.
small little torso?
I like how the neck area is more.
Okay.
That's how I like it. That's the only thing, and I thought it was weird the arms were swapped
Yeah.
in the picture,
yeah.
but the legs weren't.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, as far as third parties, overextending themselves, I think they are to a certain degree. I think it's a competition with each other, and they need to, they had silhouettes or they had, drawings that they had of certain figures, and they're like, that was on the back burner, but hey, some other company's doing it. Throw it out there, like what Chris said on the Cybercast, just so they can get their name out there and hype it up even more. And then
Competition is
just.
always good, though. Competition is never a bad thing.
No,
Our
it's
version
not.
of the Combiners is better than this one, yeah.
But when the
It looks
competition
best.
drags out for a year, and you still haven't seen a
Yeah.
prototype or anything,
It's going to lose hype.
yeah, there's
People
no
are gonna
point.
lose interest.
But so
Just like those Justin Predaking.
Oh, Justice Toys or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah.
All those Predakings.
true. All right. We got any more on that subject? You guys want to keep it going? No more Warbotron?
No more Warbotron.
All right, Warbotron's gone. So we'll move on. Real quickly, I mean, Dalton and I were talking about BotCon a little bit before we started. So your thoughts, Dalton, on the new information we got on souvenir sets?
I'm really liking pretty much all of the souvenir sets. If anything, they should have used again, like I said in the review, they should have used the Voyager Prime Megatron for Rampage and maybe for Shockeract if they put out that one. It just would have scaled a lot better.
Yeah.
But this is just an estimation or I guess a guess, but with the whole attendee figure, I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be Ape Link.
Oh, you do?
Because you got to have something to round out the nights, so without having to pay extra money for souvenirs.
Yeah.
I guess just have 3 versus 3 instead of just for those who can't afford the souvenirs. And then the Pounce and Wingspan would be your troop builder.
Really?
It's just the way I would see it.
See, I see.
They're just individual characters.
Well, I know, but just the way FunPub runs things.
They're like other Viacons.
I mean, well, they are clones, so you could think of it as the Star Wars clones where there's
Just
several. But I know who Pounce and Wingspan are, and I know that they are their own standalone each character, but just the way things go, that's probably what they're going to do.
The best troop builder, to be honest, I think would be the Insecticons, just because you have those 3 individual characters, so if you wanted to give them those specific names, but if you watch the G1 cartoon, I mean, there's just a slew of them. I mean, there's hundreds of them.
A swarm.
Yeah, so you could do something like that. And does BotCon really get into Legends figures? Because
no.
Not really.
No.
I mean, the most
We got Creos, but they're not gonna have.
in 2008 they did Minicons, but they only did 3 of them, and they were souvenir exclusives. I mean, if anything, they'd probably give us the Arms Micron, Microns to have with Pounce and Wingspan.
Yeah. So you
where's
do
the
think
breakdown robot?
Breakdown.
Well, that was 2010's exclusive.
There you go.
It was part of the box set.
So what do you think the attendee freebie will be?
I kind of just said it. Ape Link.
Ape Link? Oh yeah, sure. I forgot about that. But okay, so how about not the attendee freebie, but the custom class? That's what I wanted to say.
That's a... See. Now, they said they weren't doing a red alert, but you could think that they would do a crankcase similar to the movie Allspark Power crankcase, using the same mold as Cannonball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was also a Decepticon and you use the same mold as Red Alert, so if not him, then probably some other character, maybe from the Cyclonus mold. I just don't know what you'd use for DevCon's mold, especially with the new head.
I've got an idea for the custom class. It was in one G1 episode, obviously season 3 for Cyclonus, to where
The Killing Jar.
Is that the one to where they go and there's a ship and then they all turn in like these different colors, like Ultra Magnus is all these different colors, Cyclonus is as well. So the Killing Jar, and he's got like browns and greens and pinks and stuff like that, to where if they did that with that mold, I think that would be kind of cool, to be honest.
Like what they did with their Action Master colored
Thundercracker
last cycle.
Yeah, so I think that would be a really good one. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that hasn't even happened yet. I know it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's only one episode, but how many other things? I mean, DevCon, an episode, so you got all these little one episode type things.
Or another one episode type thing. If they do Europe, you could do the Paradrawn Medic colors and call that Chromia. Just the green and the white.
Yeah.
Just call that Chromia.
Because we also know that BotCon or FunPub or whatever you want to call them, that they like to. There's like 2 or 3 molds out there to where they're like, you're gonna get doubles of this and some type of colors, and that's why I think that's one of the reasons why I really can't get behind it. Unless it's something that it just kind of really blows me away, like the animated RC. You turn her into Minerva, and I think that's awesome. That was a custom class thing. And if they end up doing that with Cyclonus, make them the Killing Jar Cyclonus, that would be the one figure that I would want. But unfortunately, it would be the custom class thing, that I would buy that guy.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought about buying I have 2 Cyclonus. I need a right arm for my Target Master version. So hopefully find that thing there. But I've always wanted to just kind of get like a little junker. It doesn't really matter how good condition it is, because I'd be painting it anyway. Get a G1 Cyclonus and paint them in that color scheme, and that would be my first custom. I mean, that was something that I've actually considered. So I think that would be really cool. A lot of people probably wouldn't know what it is, unless they're G1 fans. But they'd be like, "This is the ugliest Cyclonus I've ever seen in my life."
Well, question is, do you like the Prime molds being used for the souvenir set? I mean, they're all Prime.
I personally think it's an interesting idea. I mean, it works for this, I guess, era. Yeah. I mean, they used Energons for 2005, and
I think it's fantastic. You don't get a Bumblebee mold.
Yeah, like see what.
Right.
What convention had the first edition Bumblebee as like Decepticharge or something like that? Was it Shardicon or was it? I know it wasn't TFCon. It was another one up in Canada, I think.
Didn't someone do that mode as a quote unquote barricade?
Yeah. No, that was the Viacon.
Yeah.
That was
over in Viacon. Yeah.
I think that was Auto Assembly last year.
Oh, okay.
Where they did a Viacon as barricade. To be honest, I kind of like that. I guess it's Prow or Smokescreen, whatever you want to call it, mold for Transformer Prime as a barricade from the
subscription service.
I think that thing actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of photos, and The Frenzy, I guess.
Okay, that probably was a personal custom I must have seen.
I could see them doing the Transformer. I don't know if it's because it's in Pasadena and we're going to, the Universal Studios, and because you can buy a regular evac there. But I could see the Transformer Prime Rumble Frenzy repainting it to be an evac.
Evac, yeah.
That would be hard to do. I mean, you just take regular Rumble and just practically replace the head. Maybe.
I mean, it's a simple thing, but they might be counting on. I think it would be kind of a nice tie-in because part of the thing is you're going to Universal Studios, but at the same time that might be why they didn't want to come out with it, because you can just walk into the store after the ride and buy yourself the evac.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they stayed away from that.
But that wouldn't fit into the theme of BotCon, though. Everything in the souvenir sets previously released in the BotCon sets. But, yeah, I could see that.
And, the more I look at my Rampage figure here, I would so love Shocker Act from that. It fits perfectly.
It would. But you're right that it needs to be the Voyager class. I mean, Rampage is one thing, but Shocker Act is a huge, dominating figure. And he needs to be, large. But anything else with BotCon? I mean, I know next week we were going to do our pre-BotCon stuff on the Cybercast, and we'll go over some more stuff on BotCon, and we'll get, obviously, Dakota's views, because he's surprised he's not tweeting or anything to us right now, like, oh my god, you're talking about BotCon! I love it! I mean, especially that Alpha Trion. I mean, getting the Lion version from the 3H comics, oh man, that is cool. But, alright, so, moving on. I have a question for you guys. Now, let's say the line that you collect right now, so for Josh, G1, does not exist. The fiction's there, alright? Yeah, just go with it. So, for whatever collection or whatever, Transformer series that you collect, let's just say it does not exist. It never will exist. But the fiction's there. So there's comic books, there's, a cartoon and all that kind of stuff for it. Would you, and you're a fan of it, would you collect a different series of Transformers? Let's say the Chug line. The Chug line has all those G1 characters, but they're not, G1.
So that's the first time I'm getting them. Because I was like, well, now I have Masterpiece and Maserati. But, I guess I would just do I would jump on the... well, I mean, if you get the Masterpiece, is that getting taken away too?
No, it's just like whatever series that you collect, let's say for both of us, majority of the Transformers that we collect is probably G1. Let's say there's no G1. To get that fix of G1, yes, Masterpiece. You'd probably go into Masterpiece. Would there be any other... Would you still be a Transformers fan as big? Even though the series is there, you can see the show, but there's no toys.
Well, part of it was, growing up with it when... I mean, I've had Transformers in my hand since I was 2 years old.
Yeah,
because that's how well they... That's how well they made them. And, it was, the transformations were pretty simple, to be honest, on a lot of the figures. And you're watching the show, you're playing with them, and whenever you're playing with them, it's like, oh, you're bringing up, all you're doing is bringing it across the room, and you have them in robot mode, you put them in alt mode, fly across the room or drive across the room, and then you transform again. And that was part of the fun. Now it just takes you, 4 or 5 minutes, and you're filling with it. And you can't play with them the same way that you can today. I don't know if I'd be that much into them, but if it was a thing to where I'm still as much of a fan as I am now type scenario, that if there was one line that I would collect, and we're not, Masterpiece obviously, I would say the animated series or the animated line. And that's one that I've got on eBay several times, and I've almost went wild, but I've held myself back just because of other things that I've actually wanted. I've thought about canceling pre-orders and all types of stuff just to buy the entire line, just because I think it's that cool looking. And anyone that looks at the pictures for the Cybercast knows that if you're a Transformer and it's kind of cute, then I'm like, oh, that's adorable. I want to get it. And I think they kind of have that cute look to them. And also, they're completely accurate to what they look like in the cartoon or the anime.
Yeah.
The Transformer Prime, I think that they've got some solid figures. They've also got some very poor figures. Yeah. But the cartoon, prior to Beast Hunters, in my opinion, was absolutely solid.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay, so I'll rephrase the question. So you answered it, though. So to make it more clear, the Transformers show that you grew up watching does not have a toy line.
Okay.
All right. So you go and would you still be a passionate Transformer fan, whether you're buying something different? In the case of what Josh said there, grew up watching G1, love G1. There's no toy line, though. Masterpiece comes out, they, reminisce and, bring back that childhood memories. But is it enough that you would warrant to collect it? Because you're now an adult. You're not going to sit there playing with it like you would if you had it as a kid. So what collection would you kind of gravitate towards? I mean, because G1's different because you got the Masterpiece, but like for Cybertron, there is no like other Cybertron that's down the road, like a Masterpiece line and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of curious if, like, Dakota was here.
It can't be like, and Energon would be my pick,
Yeah,
because they're kind of similar.
Yeah, they're Unicron trilogy. So I'm just kind of curious.
I'd go Chugline. Again, that's still what I collect, but I didn't grow up watching G1, so.
Oh, but what did you grow up?
Unicron
what do you
trilogy.
mainly Unicron trilogy? Okay, and do you collect Unicron trilogy?
Not really.
All right. Well, that's
Come on.
Emotional tie to Unicron trilogy. Okay, how about you, Chris? I know you collect Energon. You almost have the entire line. Now, let's say that never existed.
Sweating you.
Would you collect something else, or would you be as passionate towards another series?
There's too many choices. I mean, to take away that, I mean, that's a really scary thought. I mean, I might even need a refill on that tea. But for the most part, I think I'd have to go for probably, this is going to sound weird, but yeah, G1 even, only because it's like I look at Beast Wars and there's a lot, I don't like the shell form and this and that, as I think I don't mind beast changes, but if you go too heavy, then I tend to back off a bit. It's like, oh, too much. I wouldn't go animated because I like animated, but only select few. I wouldn't go movie toys just because it's like there's only a limited number you get. Versus G1, I mean, you'll be collecting for years, and you probably won't get the entire whole G1 era of Transformers. So, and plus, there's just a lot into them. I mean, you like look at Metroplex. Look at the playability with that. Is I know that is a really, really old toy, but name one figure, whether it's even combiners, is nowadays combiners. Look at even going back to like Energon. Look at say Bruticus, or look at Superion. Is yeah, the playability is like it's cool to combine them, but all you'd have to do is just tiny little poke and it all falls apart. So the playability kind of lapses. Metroplex, you can do whatever you want. It's like you have the base mode. Okay, we'll just kind of ignore that it has a attack mode. But there's just so much things you can do with it, and you can get the aerial bots, and you can attach it on there as well. So there's just so many different factors you have from G1, which you do not have with modern day toys. So my route would probably have to be G1, just because one, the vast majority of figures is out there. The playability with it is almost unmatched, considering it's 30-year-old designs, which is damn right impressive. And just the whole dialogue and everything behind it is like the character info on them, whether it's like down to the boxes or from the actual cartoon, is just more into it rather than you see, say, like Transformers Prime, something comes out, it's like, right, okay, this is a guy you don't really know too much about him, but this is basically the gist of him. G1, something in G1, you know everything about it. It doesn't matter how like screwed up the script was, you knew everything. So yeah, I'd go G1 straight up if Energon didn't exist. So
All right. How about for the rest of you guys?
I probably still,
Charles.
I probably still stick with Masterpiece. I mean, it's like with Josh. I grew up with G1. I don't have like a few G1 figures, but I have more Masterpiece figures. To me, the Masterpiece are basically the grown-up versions of the G1s. So yeah, I still stick with the Masterpiece.
What about if there was no Masterpiece? Because I think we're all interested, because for us G1 collectors, saying Masterpiece is kind of an easy cop-out.
Yeah. Damn you, Josh.
But saying, like I said, the animated, Transformers animated would be mine. What other series would you kind of get behind? I guess the best way to explain it is, what series would you get behind if your series wasn't
like Creo?
Robots in Disguise.
You say Bayformers fan, Charles, then I'm walking out.
Oh, no.
For me, if there was no classics or no Chug line, I would probably look to try and maybe go maybe a little Transformers Prime and maybe one or two Galaxy Force / Cybertron figures, because the figures from that line were pretty good. I mean, I love that Voyager Starscream mold.
See, and yeah, I'd say the same. Animated, probably Beast Wars, a little bit of G1. So.
Oh, now you're changing your answer.
Well, because I mainly collect Chug, and that's what I have most of. So if I didn't collect that, then I'd have to.
Plus, I guess it would be kind of easy for Prime, but I feel like Hasbro quote unquote pulled the plug on it before it had a chance to grow.
On Prime, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I mean, they had Frank Welker and Peter Cullen back together again with solid writing. I was like, wow, this is going to be the second coming of G1. And what happened about a year and a half later? And then the first edition toys came out, and I was like, wow, they're screen accurate. Hasbro's on the roll here. Then all of a sudden, guess what? They're not for you. Son of a gun.
Yeah, I remember that. We're pulling it out of the U.S. market. Like, what?
Yeah.
I got to go to Canada to get the first editions? This is crap.
Oh, that breakdown
That's why I didn't collect the Prime line.
Speaking of first edition, I'm hoping that if I've got the money, extra money after paying for the exclusives and the Insecticons, hoping to pick up first edition Prime and Bulkhead.
Oh.
And Scourge.
I still have the Takara versions in box. I haven't opened those yet, but what did you say, Jay? You said RID?
Yeah.
Robots in Disguise, car robots.
Car robots. Oh yeah, I love that Fire Convoy. And I actually did pick up that Black Convoy.
Yeah. Scourge.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that RID had Brave Maximus. No other series wanted to tackle such a large figure, which is kind of odd. But what do you got, Charles?
I probably still stick with like they still want to do the Fall of Cybertron Dinobots. I would love to pick them out. And I still have a bunch of figures from War for Cybertron and Fall. And there are a few Cybertron figures I like. I still have my Optimus. Armada was okay. Energon in the beginning I liked, but I grew out of that. It was just.
So if I came to your house and burned all your Masterpiece figures, and you were heartbroken over that, and you needed to find another, joy in Transformers, what would you buy? What would you start buying to regain that happiness because your masterpieces are gone?
And say that you've got a large collection of masterpieces as well. So you've got over 20 masterpiece figures, something like that. So you can't go for a line that's like itty bitty small, because you just have loads of just empty, rotten space.
The War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron figures.
All right, so Generations it is.
Yeah.
Just laughing. We're talking about burning people's houses.
No, we're burning masterpieces.
What did Charles do to deserve this? Burning his masterpiece transfer. What did he do to you?
Charles would be like, I quit.
I'm booting myself out of this thing. This is not right.
And, you know, speaking of War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, I'm really, really digging that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's a crazy, you know, wild card thing to do, but it's cool, I guess.
Okay.
What shelf do you even put that on?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to, like, sit when you're Cybertron figures. I mean, it's
the rock band.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, the rock band.
It'd probably go on its own shelf or an exclusive shelf.
Yeah, if you put that in your chug line, I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna burn your chug line.
No, it is not going to my chug line. No.
James is a pyromaniac.
I am a pyro. You should see me burning
everyone's
If
stuff.
I really wanted to, I would get like any stage lights and just build my own little stage for them. And then, you know, every month or two, have a few figures in like a stadium kind of arena thing.
And then you can have War and Flare Up and all the girl.
There you go.
You know, just as groupies.
Yeah.
And such there.
Have some of my Voyagers as like the big roadies, or
bouncers and stuff.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for, bouncers, and then
Bulkhead.
all the ones with loose head ball joints will be headbangers.
Oh yeah, Dalton, I forgot to tell you, you're on the Cybertron Facebook page. Sorry about that.
What? You just
because there's a bar meetup. I forget which night. It's either Friday or Saturday night. I think it's Saturday night.
Oh, I read that.
The bar meetup, and I said that, you know, I sent the invites out to, you know, James and Dakota, but I said we do have you're 19, right?
I'm 18.
18, okay. Well, I said we do have one 19-year-old. I said, but I'm sure that, you know, he can find something to do at the hotel. And they said that, you know, well, it's a restaurant too, so we don't know if there's a cutoff date that you have to be this old to stay there, because it stays open until 2 a.m. We'll probably close it down. It's right across the street. I was like, well, you know what? I'll bring him a coloring book or something like that.
Oh my god.
They said, you know what? We'll bring some rescue bots for him.
Oh, yeah, no.
Rescue bot. That's a kick in the balls right there. Man.
That's double.
You're lucky we're live.
Well, coloring book's one thing, rescue bot's well.
Oh, thank you. I'll
Coloring
enjoy my
book,
box set.
you know what? I wouldn't mind that. Does it have puzzles? You know, so.
Right on.
Now it's starting to sound like Sam from the first Bayformer movie, talking about the whole link between football and brain damage.
What?
In the beginning of
coloring and pop-ups.
Yeah, there you go. Talking about the book he was writing.
Oh, okay. No, the way that I put it, everyone, you know, got it. I was just like, well, he's 19 years old. You know, you're younger than 21, so it's like, oh, you know, he's a kid, you know. So I'll bring him a coloring book, and everyone got it that way. I thought it was funny. All right, man. Well, I'll find out if you can stay there, though. If it's a 50-50, I think is what it is, or is it 51% they sell food? Majority, then anyone can get in. So I'm not really sure, but we'll find out.
Usually, if you're over 18, they'll let you into those restaurants. You just can't buy drinks.
Oh yeah.
Because
He's got a little
I'm not breaking the law for you, Dalton, man.
What's the drinking age over there?
21.
21.
Oh, unlucky. Should come to UK. Cheaper, and you gotta be 18.
Either way, I wouldn't be
It's not
drinking
cheap for
in my
Transformers.
diabetes.
Huh?
You said cheaper than 18, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, for
Yep.
drink.
Yeah, well, not for Transformers. It's not cheaper, though.
No, not really. For eBay it is.
Not to be a collector.
BVZA3 said, don't forget they did not release Prime Breakdown in the either. I guess that goes back to something you guys were discussing. I wasn't here for that then.
Breakdown, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Ironhide, Frenzy. All those guys.
Lyle Convoy repaint of Thundertron.
Yeah.
Well, you got Shapeshift Inc. and that is doing the world's smallest, but like we said on Cybercast, that they'll consider doing deluxe and Voyagers, but it really depends on how the fans receive their first little 2-pack there.
Yeah.
And if they say that, dude, these are awesome and we got to have these, and they may come up with it. So they're leaving it kind of an open door. They're going to see how fans react to it.
Are you talking about
then you also have Planet X.
Are you talking about the third-party people that's bringing out the Fall of Cybertron Ironhide?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay,
the little Seekers too, the little world's smallest ones.
Yeah, basically.
So that's them. And then you also got Planet X that is doing some Fall of Cybertron stuff as well.
Mainly Dinobots. Be cool if they did the other Insecticons.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna go more into the whole game, aspect.
You guys are getting us some more Decepticons.
You just need to be quicker on it instead of waiting like a year or two down the line.
Ooh, bring us right back around to the topic.
Yep. Full circle. Yeah. You would think that they would want to put those out a little bit more, but it would be nice to get an actual third-party company onto the Cybercast and ask them what is the total process going through from design to final product. How long does it take? And if we,
I can.
Well, if we're going to complain about companies taking their time, what about head robots, huh?
Window neighbors.
Head robots, neighbors.
Go see Godzilla.
Go see Godzilla.
Worth money more than people shoving dildos in their mouth.
Huh?
Okay.
What is going on?
Something's going on. There's something going on in Colorado right now. We don't want to know. Is he talking to us? Is he talking to someone else?
I think he's talking to his sister, actually.
All right. Let's see. What else is there? Obviously, no one's here has purchased any, except for Dalton. I know that. But movie toys?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Josh? Movie toys? Come on.
Nada.
I honestly thought my microphone was muted. They're going to go see Neighbors.
Yeah.
And I thought it was muted, so sorry about that.
All I heard was something, shove it in the mouth. I was like,
Shove it in your mouth.
I heard
Godzilla.
Yeah, we won't repeat the word you used.
Let's just drop
children
it.
Watch this.
Let's just forget it ever happened.
We got another side of Dalton.
Exactly.
Rage Against Machine.
You know what? I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna use that comment at BotCon so much. Hey, I'm going to Universal.
No.
Yeah, if you want to watch blah 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 shoved in their mouth.
No.
Bring on the shirts. But
Ooh, that'd be nice. Get a little quote shirts.
let's see. Other topics. I don't know. It would be great if we got some Generation stuff out there in the stores, but obviously that's not going to happen because of the movie toys.
Oh,
Yeah.
quick thing with the at Walmart, the deluxe figures went down to $10.
Oh, what?
I meant to
Nice.
bring that up on Cybercast, but I forgot. Now, when I actually went, and it's supposed to be all deluxes, is what it was reported as. I haven't checked because everything that I wanted I've already purchased. But the way they have it tagged at Walmart is the Generations line, $10 or whatever, $9.88 or $9.99 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But $10, a little less. And they have the movie deluxes still at whatever, $15 or whatever they're selling them for. So they still have them tagged for the more expensive price point. But what it was reported is all deluxes at Walmart are under $10. So,
Sweet.
and I know that if you ended up buying your figures there, they do price adjustments.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
think within 30 days or 60 days or something like that. So you might check that out.
Yeah.
Just because I know that and Toys R Us, they'll do price adjustments as well. So if you are wanting to buy a figure, a deluxe that popped up at Toys R Us, you can, hey, it's whatever, $9.88 over at Walmart, and they'll price adjust it. So wherever you can find it, make sure you get it for that cheaper price. Just because, I mean, you're saving quite a bit of money there.
Yeah, you're saving $5.
As far as percentage goes, because the way that it was originally priced, I was there the day before the the Bayformers hit toy shelves at Toys R Us, and they had deluxes, whatever, $12.99, $12.88, and they had Voyagers for $19.99. TF4 gets released, all deluxes, $15, all Voyagers, $25.99.
Which is honestly too much for the scale that they're going for.
Yeah.
So not only did they raise the price for the Bayformers, they also raised the price for the other ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mute him real quick.
But yeah, at our Walmart, they've still got all the leader class figures, and no one's even really touching them. The Voyagers are wiped clean. All I've got are the Titans, the Voyagers, and the gimmicky figures. They had one Bumblebee there.
Yeah.
Or the deluxe. I mean, it's one I'm. Bumblebee is one I'm going to pick up, but it's not on my priority list right now.
I think funny is my Toys R Us. They got in 12 of those. I don't know what size to call them, whatever, but basically the Cybertron Starscream, the big figure,
Platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum or whatever. They have sold 0 since those things came in. They are just sitting there.
Oh yeah.
Just fully stocked.
What's that cost?
Yeah, like Dakota said on whenever we got the news about that thing, he was like, dude, you can go buy the original on eBay for like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was like, why would you pay, $50 more or whatever it is, $50, $60, $70 more for a crown?
Yeah, and G1 colors.
Well, the thing is, the Supreme class mold is pretty much like 2 or 3 inches taller than the leader class molds for the Age of Extinction. I mean, it's not that huge compared to the leaders. It could easily go for just $60.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they decided to release that. I mean, I would rather have seen, being the 30th anniversary of Transformers, doing a platinum, let's say, Primus, from the Cybertron line. Maybe more metallic paint scheme, something Toys R Us exclusive. I think that would sell. That would get off the shelf, even at a price point of, let's say, $89 or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But
here's the thing.
Starscream, no.
That's the thing that I don't get, is that whenever those figures were originally, released, they didn't cost that much money, $100 wise. And, whenever you release a new toy, you release it at a price point that you're having to pay for the engineering. So whenever you come years later and we're going to come out with this, whatever, basically a reissue, whether you mold it in different colors or do all that other stuff, you're not having to pay designers again. You're not having to pay for the mold again. You're not having to do any of that. It's just, let's make this again in different colors. So you're saving more money, but now you're going to charge a lot more, or double, or even more than double. It doesn't make sense to a lot of collectors. That's like, again, we're collectors. We're adults. We're smart people. We're, not some 8-year-olds where you can be like, oh, I can overcharge you for this. It's like, we're not paying that. Like, no one has. We haven't sold a single one of my Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And I was like, even asked the guy there, I was like, so when are these going on clearance? He was like, hopefully soon. Because they just sit there and they take up so much space.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know why my Toys R Us has the security little, like,
Yeah, they had that in mind too.
That. I'm like, who's gonna steal this thing? I mean, one, it's a huge box. It's like you're just gonna slip that underneath your arm and just start walking out of the store. But I would, who's gonna steal it? Who wants to steal that? But just a curiosity question. I'm gonna ask you guys: have you guys seen the Masterpiece Grimlock at your local Toys R Us yet?
I haven't been to Toys R Us since beginning of May when I got my Age of Extinction figures. So.
Well, get your butt in gear, man.
Well, probably.
The biggest boxes I'm still seeing there is Year the Horse Starscream.
And Optimus Prime.
Masterpiece?
Really?
Charles?
Yeah, the mine says 1 Year the Horse, the Masterpiece Optimus Prime with the gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
One Optimus Prime and like still has a few of the star screens.
You should buy that Prime and scalp it.
Yeah, you know what? We had like a ton of them at mine, and then they all sold, and I was just kind of like, I don't know why people are buying this. But then now, kind of, I'm like, if you were to customize one, that's one to get to customize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even though I'm terrible would be terrible at customizing something, that I've actually thought that, you know what, if I did see one, I might get it. I'm not exactly sure, but my quest to have all the Masterpiece, like I'm not gonna get like the old Seekers that were previous to MP11, just because I've got the MP11 ones. So I guess it's not really a quest to have all the Masterpiece. It's just the ones that are worth having in the repaints and stuff like that. But like I want the Black Convoy.
The bathing ape.
I want the bathing ape. I've got my Hasbro. Like I'm not gonna go out and buy the Takara original MP10 because I've got the Hasbro, so I'm not exactly wanting every single interpretation of it.
Yeah, that'd be an arm and a leg right there.
I'm gonna get the Ava one. So I'm gonna get that one just because, dude, that's gonna be my favorite because those colors are so awesome.
Are you gonna get the MP09 Rodimus?
I was thinking about maybe if I can find that at BotCon, and also picking up G2 Sideswipe and Tiger Track at BotCon as well.
Now, would you get the Black Rodimus?
Oh yeah, I plan on getting that.
What's the point of Black Rodimus, though? I still to this day I don't really get that.
Yeah.
It just looks cool, in my opinion. It's not anything.
And for those who are fans of Shatterglass, I mean, if you really wanted to, you can just get a black Autobot symbol, or not black, purple Autobot symbol. Just slap it on instead of the Decepticon symbol. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, never saw that.
Get a little bit of marker and put on his mustache and goatee.
He had a goatee, did he?
I'm not screwing up a $200 figure.
I know.
Yeah. No. But
Or
yeah, I've
just-
always wondered what was the point of him having a goatee and a mustache.
Looks like
Again,
that dude from V from Vendetta.
Yeah.
Essentially, that Rodimus was like Starscream. So.
Oh, always plotting to try to overthrow Optimus, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And
All right, guys, I'm out.
All
I
right.
gotta wake up at like 4:45. So.
Oh wow.
Alright, catch you later.
all right, have a
Alright.
good night.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Shattered Glass Optimus was what, or Shattered Glass Rodimus was plotting with Alpha Tron, I think, to
I
take
don't
out
remember.
Prime, Optimus Prime or something. So, I don't know, but
And just with the whole Shattered Glass thing, I can imagine Blur, instead of being super fast, just constantly in slow motion.
Yeah.
Shattered
just how
Glass
Thunder
is really young.
Yeah. And how Thundercracker flies in absolute silence. Dirge.
Yeah.
Dirge induces uncontrollable laughter instead of fear.
There you go.
I wonder how how Shattered Glass Soundwave talks.
He talked like a
Shakespearean.
Yeah. That would be so awesome.
Well, from the comments, it sounded like he was talking like a 80s rocker type of kind of teenager.
Ooh.
So kind of like a teenager from the 80s.
From the 80s? Okay. So he
Alright.
probably sounds like somebody from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
So, going on to the whole 80s, theme with the rockers, that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Now, I've seen, like I mentioned on the Cybercast, it's going for around 300 plus. You think it's worth that much?
I don't even think it would be really going that much live retail. I could see it going for about 150 like the Burgers last year or a couple years ago.
You think it's going to sell out? I mean, it's a lot better than what their Titan, not Titan class, but they're those little, what were those things? They're non-transformable Transformers they had last year.
Little Guardians for Metroplex.
Yeah.
No, it's better than that.
Yeah. Price point's probably going to be around
The thing is, it's a novelty item. It's something that's going to draw people's attention, and I think that's what would make it sell out. It's an interesting novelty item.
And it's something different. I mean, last year we had Metroplex, we had
And
those
some
Guardians,
G.I. Joe
Shockwaves.
stuff.
Yeah, we had Shockwaves Laboratory, I believe, from Prime. So I guess going that route is cool, but still would have been nice if it was something a little different. But let's see. Anything else we want to talk about? Any other topics you guys want to mention? Anything that...
Just one bone I want to pick at Hasbro is like when they did the whole Generations Metroplex and then announcing I think it was like a couple of months ago that they have no plans for any time soon to do another Titan. So it's so why would you make a whole brand new sort of scale in itself and then think, right, okay, we're not going to do this just any time whatsoever. It's whereas my girlfriend, her sister, she works at Hasbro, one of the main something in the offices of it's on third or fourth floor, which nearest Hasbro actually isn't that far. It's only 3 miles down the road from me. She doesn't deal with the stuff for what the American Hasbro deals with, because that's a completely different ball game in development and everything. But stuff that she hears down the grapevine sort of thing is she says there's literally nothing on the system. But she took a couple of days to get back to me, but she said there's virtually nothing in there. And then what was it a month or two after she said that, then the announcers yeah, we're not really focused on that, we're focused on other things. So they haven't even bothered to mention that, oh yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, maybe in like a year or whatever, we're gonna make another one, and it'll probably be this on that. It's just like nothing whatsoever. So whether they're keeping that under the hat sort of thing, and maybe they're saving it for maybe the combiners, maybe they're going to be the Titan class, but saying that's going to a whole other topic is like looking at the years they have left of, just looking at, say, how many G1 casts there is, or to say how many like mainline combiners are going to be, which obviously Brooker's will probably be the first one, but looking at that, then thinking, God, I'm going into like 3 or 4 different topics here. I'm talking about like killing off like the original fandom. It's like how many years is it going to take to make, say, a combiner? Because you would initially have to make 5 masterpiece figures in a year. If Hasbro ever did that, which I think that really they have a word for Kara, then maybe. But again, you've got to think 5 years just dedicated to a combiner, and imagine if that flopped, and imagine the price point on them as well. Well, not me. I mean, I'm gonna be like older, but I mean, damn. I mean, you guys gonna be old. I mean, like say 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a long time.
True. Now, the new game that's coming out, is there a large figure present in it? Like the previous games we've had Omega Supreme, we've had Trypticon, we've had Metroplex. That is the only, kind of scenario that I've seen that they would release maybe a Titan class figure that's linked to something else. Or maybe Bay movie, maybe there's a huge Decepticon in there that we don't know yet, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think it is. I mean, look at Grimlock. Grimlock can't, whatever he's supposed to be fighting, because all we know that is a massive battle somewhere, and Grimlock is unable to take him out on his own. So he needs basically Prime to go donkey mode on him and basically ride him.
Climb on my back, Prime, now.
Yeah.
Ride me into battle.
It's like, bring my war pony, but that's essentially what he's doing.
Speed.
So it's like something that big. It's bigger than the Great Wall of China, and he's taking on something. Off the top of my head, I mean, that's honestly the only thing I can think of is hopefully there is like another combiner, but I mean, if they just randomly press, it's like, yep, here it is, there's no confirmation, like no even tiny little bit of hint of whether they were doing it or not, just come out, it's like, boom, combiner. That's why I'm most nervous, is why we was talking about on the Cybercast, it's like, I don't want to put out money for a combiner because it's too many possibilities. It's getting like really, really close. I mean, they really want to make it, and they will probably make a combiner. It's just when, and I don't want to dump that money and Bennett goes, here you go, and I'm gonna be like, you just get my hammer. You did this to me, and it would be awesome though.
It would be cool. It would be cool just as a parody. Let's say Unicron is in the movie or something, which I doubt. But you know how Optimus kind of slaps Grimlock to the side, or something when he charges him, and then just to see Optimus Prime on top of Grimlock charging into battle, it's like Unicron's finger just flicks him just away or something. But
because he does ask Lockdown. He asks him. I guess I don't know. Because sometimes trailers can be misleading, but I'm wondering if he's asking Lockdown who sent you.
Yeah.
It had to have been to Lockdown because, he just randomly appears from the trailer.
Yeah.
And then there was like one rumor, potential spoilers, don't know if it's true or not. There's one rumor that those ships might actually be Unicron or something like that, or they might.
Yeah.
So what
he said himself was something about that ship has a very big importance, and you won't really get it in this movie, but there's going to be a lot of like, oh, why is happening? Well, why is that connected to that? Which is lining up for the 5th and 6th film. So the only thing I could possibly think of, if that ship has a massive importance, I'm going to call it and say Unicron. I mean, look at the whole scripts that was like leaked a couple of months ago, and they said, or Baton Red said, no, it's lies, don't listen to it. Everything that has been said in that script so far has been confirmed. Now, I mean, you look at like the Dinobots, you look at who's in it, you look at Galvatron, you look at Lockdown, you look at the actors, you look at just pretty much everything. Like I said, everything that's mentioned is confirmed. The only thing that's missing is Unicron. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to go on a majority like no-brainer, but you know, for the off-the-card thing, I do reckon it's Unicron. But going
Yeah,
back to
because that ship was sucking up things, and it was very reminiscent of Transformers movie when Unicron started sucking up that
I
planet.
didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a good shape. Yeah, that's possible.
And then another speculation with the ships was how they're shaped. Someone said they were shaped like snails, so they assumed it would be the Quintessons.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, I
And
didn't
I
even
guess-
see all that.
And then I guess you can connect the Quintessons to controlling Unicron from the inside, I guess.
True.
I don't know, that's just my speculation on it, if they're going to be Quintessons and Unicron.
It's probably gonna be nothing. We're all speculating.
Probably.
It's gonna be absolutely nothing. It's gonna be like, eh.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was all much ado about nothing.
Just quickly jumping onto the whole Titan class thing. Say if they was to do something for the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron-esque world on things. I mean, if they was going to do any big character in that, it's like, what is really left? I mean, Brooke, as we know, he's already in there.
It's
So-
Trypticon.
Trypticon, he's pretty much kaput. I mean, well, at that point, actually, that's before he gets to Nemesis. So
you can
he's
still
pretty much
have
just
him, though.
ahead. Yeah,
can
but he's
still-
inactive. He's offline.
There were a couple of Autobots in the game. I mean, aerial bots in the game.
Yeah.
You could make Superion. Broadside was one of, well, I mean, he chucked Trypticon on his back and basically drove off, so they could do that, though I can't
I've
really
never
see
seen
them
that.
making.
Wait, what?
In one of the, well, it's at the very beginning of Fall of Cybertron, at the very early beginning, that you see basically Trypticon being cast off. There's also in the concept art and the game art as well. If you type in, just, well, go on Google now, just type in Fall of Cybertron Broadside, he's pretty much straight there. It shows the concept art of his robot mode, but he never transformed. He was just
Yeah.
the carrier, basically.
Yeah, he was Swindle's level.
Yeah. But as in, like, what other combiners they could do, I mean, or just any big figure, I mean, I can't, seen from the trailer, if they was going to put in, like, another big sort of character, you look at the trailer for War for Cybertron, and everything we saw even before the game actually came out, we already knew Trypticon was in it. Then you look at, say, Fall of Cybertron, we knew Metroplex was in it, we knew Brucus was in it. With this, I mean, when's the game coming out?
Month?
So, I know it's coming out like in a very close time frame, but for the fact that we don't know anything of any other like big name figure, I doubt they'll do something.
Well, a
Unfortunately,
broadside would be cool. Looking at it right now.
yeah.
That's really nice.
So you found it?
Yeah, I googled it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to see another Titan class. But again, I'm sure Metroplex was just a trial. You know, see if people would buy it, and such. But you know, I don't know. They put a lot of effort and they put a lot of push into it. I mean, how many times do that get reissued or repackaged? Like four times, I think. I mean, we got the Takara release, we got the Hasbro release, we got the San Diego Comic-Con release, we got the con that was in Hong Kong overseas.
Yeah, just those four.
Yeah. So, and then they were discounted like crazy at Costco for $50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if that's telling Hasbro that maybe we shouldn't do that, but for us collectors, it would be really nice.
I know over in the UK terms, with like Toys R Us, as soon as they were on the shelves, they were gone. I went there, what time? It was like 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And they had 3 rows going back, and it was like 2 either side, so essentially they had 6 on the shelf. from when they opened, it was 8:30 they opened. By the time I got there was only 2 left. And this was, I can't remember the exact date, but it was sometime last year. Well, yeah, when it came out. On the first day, it was that, and then try phoning up. It's like, if you got another one, because I kind of screwed up the stickers on the shoulders. I put the wrong black. It was like the black stickers. I put it on opposite sides and screwed up, and it tore a bit. So I'm kind of naffed about that. And they said we have none left. It's like, do you know when you're going to guess them? It's like, well, usual thing, keep phoning back. But every single time they said they had some, I went down it was gone. And you look on, say, again, like the UK or like European forums or Facebook pages, like collectors, for ages people saying, anyone got any Metroflexes? You look on like eBay UK, you'll probably find some on there, but big prices. But yeah, apparently it sold well, but then a lot of people are saying it actually didn't sell that well, which I really don't believe. If they really continue to push the boat out with it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Normally, if it was something that could slightly burn the pocket of Hasbro, or whatever, they'd chuck it and they would just basically not look back. So, I don't know. I'd like to think it sold well, and there's something good in the pipeline for future releases.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Would be nice. Really want them to keep tackling the triple changers. I mean, regardless of their crappy Blitzwing, we have maybe a third party that's doing a Blitzwing, but Springer Sandstorm, we need a broadside. I really would love to see a broadside. I like the Fans Project version. I have that one, but I would like to see
an official.
Hasbro, an official version. I mean, I like third party, but I like official, especially to put in my chug line. The Fans Project is good just to put on like a wrecker shelf, but as far as like collecting the entire chug, characters from G1 form, I want a broadside. I'd like to have a better Octane too.
And but I think that third party Astro Train is gonna fill that void for me. That just looks awesome.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a rendering.
Yeah, it does look really good.
The only gripe I have about like third parties is because the only third party I've got of like the whole game verse, which obviously is pretty much the only one for sale, is Swoop. But lining him up next to say like Ultra Magnus or something like that, he looks so good, which kind of makes the others look underperformed, if you know what I mean. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. It's like he stands out way too much, so hence why it's like I have to put him in like the centerpiece sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, over anything, if like Hasbro, even if they didn't have like, even if it was just half as good as that, they made a Swoop, I would get it just because you kind of, I don't know what anyone else's opinion, but I feel like whenever I'm getting the third party stuff, I'm putting them in with like mainline officials. I feel like I'm cheating with it, and it's not a pure line, if you know what I mean. But
I know Hasbro's like looking at your back, like, "What are you doing? You're cheating on me."
I know, it really is.
I wouldn't have cheated on you if you would. I wouldn't have cheated on you if you'd have gave me a real Ultra Magnus instead of a white repainted Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
This could be us, but you keep doing that. So, but yeah, true. And then another thing, I remember hearing that for like future Beast Hunter stuff, they were just gonna upsize their Legions class figures. I'm like, okay. Funny thing about it is that I'm looking at some of those Legions, like what was that Legion star screen that they pulled out of the one that turns into the F-22, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, why can't you just blow that up to at least a decent sized Voyager? And then they were successful with that Legion class, Legends class IDW Optimus Prime. I'm like, really? You couldn't blew that up to a Voyager?
Yeah.
I mean, not like full on just make it bigger. I mean, obviously tweak some of the joints because obviously the weight issues and stuff like that. But yeah, as in design, they virtually hardly have to touch it. I mean, that would be a nice route. I wouldn't be too bothered with it. I mean, hell, I know everyone likes their transformations, but it's getting, it's same as what Josh said earlier. It's like I was messing around with my MP10, just in case you guys don't know. He's kind of disabled at the moment due to broken leg and missing his finger now. All from in the space of about 20 seconds, so
What?
a long story. Yeah, I'm quite devastated, but it was
That
stuff like
poor
that.
Brian.
I was
You
trying
should be ashamed of yourself.
See, that's why I don't want to get Masterpiece. See, now you just scared me even more about getting Masterpiece figures.
I
I've
was
never had
transforming
that
him, and I just wanted to be like, well, just put him on like another shelf and whatnot. But it took me like 3-4 minutes to transform him, and I was just like. And then I had a really old, well, what was it? It was from Dark of the Moon, Megatron, a Cyberverse figure. It was a really nice transformation. It was quite fun. It was on it. It was like literally like 15-20 seconds. I thought you could do that. You know, it's not
And
hard.
then make them look good.
Well, he kind of tried doing it with the whole the new movie line with like Optimus. I mean, he pretty much is a shell, well, with an extra like shell forming sort of capability with him. But I think he was too simplified to the point of can't really do much with him. The shoulder joints is like the elbows. It looks too shortcut, if you know what I mean. Not good to the extent of full on. I mean. I know, like I said, is where you said blowing up, is I know with Cyberverse or Legend class figures that have a better transformation than him, and the joints, even on them, are better, and you get more usage out of them.
Yeah.
And more posability and everything, so that, you know, that's a big gripe.
And see, you know, the problem, are you talking about the leader Optimus or the...
Yeah, the leader.
Yeah, the problem with that is it's not exactly the toy's fault, it's the CGI model of the robot.
Yeah.
There's no way to
get screen accurate with that.
Yeah, there's no way to do that without it being a shell former.
Yeah.
Well, I get that, but it's like you look at Galvatron, the way they did the whole shell form thing with him, they completely flat packed his backpack, which, if you look at, say, if they did that, say, with Optimus, that would be, it's not going to be 10 times, that's over exaggerating, but it would be a marginally better figure in itself.
Well, that's why I like the leader class over the Platinum Edition, because you actually get some of that integrated into armor, and it actually shortens, and then you get the storage with the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than having literally the whole truck hanging off his back. So.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've never been like a massive sort of like stake and bloody crossing up against like shell formers, and like backpacks and whatnot. But I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not terrible. It's just it's annoying me. It's like the whole thing of his transformation as well. Is he's virtually like it's half and half plug in, which you can kind of argue is like, well, you even get that with like MP10. You even get that with like Revenge of the Fallen Prime, but it's not as bad, if you know what I mean. It's like, you look to the side, you don't think, oh, it just like plugs in like that. Versus this, it's like, I don't know, I'll probably still end up buying it just because, but...
Yeah, I might get it, but I think my definitive later prime is the Revenge of the Fallen.
Well, yeah, movie. Yeah. Mine would be Buster Optimus.
Yeah.
Miles in front, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I have that leader class Optimus Prime, and it does have all that kibble on the back, but, for what it's worth, it's okay. It does it for me. It's better than the Platinum Edition. It's better than any of the other stuff that's going to be coming out, the Silver Knight, version that's Target
That's
exclusive.
just a waste of plastic.
Yeah, so... but here's something. I mean, Josh isn't here, and we'll probably end on this topic here. But curiosity question: Masterpiece. We've all said that Masterpiece line is really great. It's given us that G1 aesthetic again, like true, not like chug-like, but pretty much Masterpiece is just the love child between G1 and Chug. I mean, that's what we got. You get the Masterpiece. Now, a lot of people would argue like, no, that's like I'm sure Josh would argue that. People are like, no, that masterpiece is G1. It's all this, but I mean, honestly though, it's a chug figure with G1 aesthetics, G1 look, transformation, but with all the nice intricacies that we got with the chug line, with the ball jointed, head, arms, legs, all that kind of stuff. So, do you think that they tried it with the alternators line, kind of more of a bigger.
I miss the alternators.
You miss the alternators.
Yes.
They miss you too.
I honestly kind of thought that was the beginning of Masterpiece myself.
Yeah, true. At least a more modernized look at and higher quality, all that. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I was so waiting to see what Optimus Prime was gonna look. G1 kind of looking Optimus Prime, take it from a conventional looking truck.
Yeah.
It never happened.
You didn't like the Dodge Ram?
It's okay, but I mean, Optimus should be like 18 wheels of steel,
Oh, yeah, true. But that would be one huge alternator.
Yeah.
But knowing what they could have done, I mean, they could have probably done that as an exclusive, which I'm surprised they didn't kind of consider.
Yeah, they did Rodimus instead.
Honestly, I thought the movie was gonna have more of the alternator aesthetics myself. Then I saw him like, why are you reinventing the wheel? But let's not get off topic. Let's go back to what you were saying, Victor.
Oh, I was just talking about the Masterpiece. Do you guys feel that it's just a higher grade of a higher grade of I don't know, of Chug?
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it being a higher grade of the Chug line.
I wouldn't exactly say higher grade. I would say it's what Chug probably was aspiring to be, kind of, sort of. Because pretty much Masterpiece, I feel like it's the pinnacle. So, and Chug was just a step up to that pinnacle.
It's Chug for the true adult fans.
It's Chug for the highly accurate-looking fans for childhood people, whatever.
Yeah, those who want to be
G1 fans.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Straight G1, yeah.
That all Transformers fans can also appreciate too.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, do you think, because we think of Masterpiece as like it should all be incorporated as one big, huge blanket transformer. There you go. And we're starting with G1 because that's where it all started from. Do you think Masterpiece should break off? They continue doing the G1 Masterpiece, but then maybe start diving into a secondary Masterpiece line that takes, figures from different series that are not like newer, like Transformers Prime and, maybe animated, but go back maybe a Masterpiece version of, an RID figure. Or, or RID.
There you go.
Beast Wars.
A Masterpiece, Car Robots, Sideburn.
They need to test the waters. They really need to for something else besides G1.
I think you should follow the hype. I mean, you look at like the Hall of Fame stuff with like, this is blasphemous. I forgot his name, Scott McNeil. It's like he's always on a hat trick with, with his Hall of Fame, and then you've got the whole thing of like Rat Trap selling. I'm gathering is going to go really, really well. We all know Waspinator that basically just went. But things like that, I honestly think that they should be like, right, okay, from the ones that we know it's going to sell well. We've been in the business long enough to look at things as like, right, we're going to put this out, Lara Faith, this will do well. We know for a fact. And then, say, a year after or whatever, like, right, we just put the design out there anyway because we'll probably get to that point of making masterpieces. But set like a bar, it's like, right, anything before, say, like 2005, just put random, just loads of little designs out just to save us time in the future so we can think of long-term stuff then. Like even longer-term stuff. And then, like, right, that's going well, let's just put this out. We've already got the design and we'll just randomize it. So instead of just building one line of G1, slowly you have, say, a G1 Masterpiece shelf, you have an RID Masterpiece shelf, a Beast Wars Masterpiece shelf, and then slowly build up, like any other random collector will do. I mean, it's very rare you'll see any collector which just from his whole time of collecting is like, right, I'm gonna start from G1, get everything of G1. Right, now I've got G1, I'll get everything of G2. It's just a bit here, it's a bit there. You'll venture into other stuff. It's honestly think it's a good done deal thing they should do as well. Exactly as what Jay just said, they need to test the waters. They need to see, is this a good idea? If it isn't a good idea and we get a little bit, well, they're not going to burn. I mean, it's obviously going to sell really well, but just take a tiny bit of a loss if so, then it's like, okay, we'll just keep on going with what we're doing. They need to try different formulas of selling things, not going through the whole same thing as, well, Masterpiece being out 10 years now?
Yeah.
It's been that long. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, MP1, 2002, was it? Whoa, okay, 12 years then if it's 2002 saying that.
It was 2005.
Was it?
2004, 2005, right around the 20th anniversary. So around the time that
but
Chuck
still.
started.
Okay, well, yeah.
Now, when you say that, Mo, are you talking about like the original MP1 or like the start of the
MP1.
whole scale? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we've come a lot further since MP10. That wasn't that long ago. It was like 2011 or something, right? It originally came
That
out.
was 2012, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I know America came out in 12, but I thought maybe it might have been 11 for Takara.
I honestly don't know.
'Cause it came out in like October, November, roughly for America.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit in September. But I know mainly in November. That was when like the hunt was really going on.
Yeah, I'd love to see other Masterpiece figures and other lines. It would be
They should
really
just do
cool.
what the third runner-up was for the contest.
What was it again?
Armada Prime.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, they should
I'm
do
I'm
him.
still waiting to see prototype pics of MP Victory Saber.
No,
Oh,
we can
yeah.
see Armada Prime.
These games.
We want to see that too. I mean, but
We'll
I don't
probably
think
see
that's
that
ever
at PopCon. We could probably see it.
Armada Prime needs an update. He needs something
Yeah.
better.
Other than a articulated upper torso of the
He
super mode.
needs some knee joints for super mode and stuff.
it would just be nice to kind of see something else, because like what you guys are saying, I mean, the Masterpiece line has been around for a while. If we're going to go the whole G1 route, I'm going to be dead and buried by the time that G1's done. I mean, we've said it before, we've gone over that before. I mean, but it's true. I mean, it takes forever for this thing to go around. But it would be nice if it broke off and continued doing the G1, but mix something else into the the little plan. Maybe a Beast Wars figure, an Armada. Something that's a little bit better, scaled down, scales with the G1 Masterpiece, just so we can kind of see, oh yeah, these guys were all together on the shelf. What would a Cybertron Optimus Prime look like compared to a G1? Just curiosity, figure and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Just a question, just a thought, just kind of curious. But I think we're going to end it there because we've been going on for about a little over an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
been a good aftercast. If you guys want to out yourselves, starting with Charles.
All right. I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
All right. And we have Chris.
You can find me Battlefront Games on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, just type in World of Tanks News and just look for Battlefront Games, and I'll be on there. So if you find me, hi. And now, bye.
Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on Twitter at DaltoniansTF95 and on YouTube at DaltoniansTF Reviews.
And Jay.
Find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
And Torrance.
Trent5 at Facebook and Trent5 pretty much at YouTube. I'm not YouTube, Twitter. Oh my God.
You should make a YouTube account. You should start uploading some videos or something.
And I am Jane Victory Saber 77. Find me YouTube, Twitter, and we had Josh in here. He is G1 Hexatron on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. No, Facebook. He is the G1 Hexatron because someone stole G1 Hexatron. So that's kind of odd. And don't forget Dakota PrimalSabbath.
everywhere.
You can find him everywhere, PrimalSabbath. Give him a shout out. He loves that. So we have a topic show on Tuesday, 6:30 Central Standard Time on our Cybercast Network YouTube channel, hosted by Dakota. Check it out. Check out our Facebook page, our Twitter, CybercastNet, and also our website, CybercastNetwork.com. And that's it. So we will see you guys next Saturday. Have a good one.
See you.